All right. This is Joseph Anthony Camareri. I'm here with Rafeal Ortiz. He is a citizen of the United States, also from Puerto Rico, and he wrote 3 books. One of those books we're going to talk about today. It's called The Hero, and he's all about fake news on Christopher Columbus. So please welcome to the interview, Rafeal Ortiz. Rafeal, how you doing today?
Good, and you?
Terrific. Now, you went and did some research, correct? Did a lot of research.
Yes. The first book, when I saw a meme on Facebook saying all these things about Columbus, and I was very curious because I never heard such a thing. So what I did, I love history. I went to my public library and I got a primary source book, which is his first, the journal for his first voyage.
Yes.
And I was in shock because I could read his words, but also I could see that he was a good man. And from the get-go, you can see that all these accusations were made up. So I started a Facebook page, which I still have. It's called officialchristophercolumbus.com. Because I was learning a lot of things, even about my culture, because Puerto Ricans, we are a mix of Spaniards, but also Taínos, which is the people that supposedly Christopher Columbus exterminated.
Wow.
So that's why I was curious, because my understanding as a kid was that Columbus was a good man and he was an ally to the Taínos. So I'm reading all these things. I started to have flashbacks about my school and my culture. So I started this little page, but then I decided, you know what? If I cannot keep, because I kept seeing all these accusations becoming more intensive. So I decided, you know what? I'm gonna read every primary source document.
Wow.
Just in case.
Just in case you're wrong, right?
Yes, because I cannot defend somebody who was evil.
Yeah.
So because evil is evil. I know that people say no, but that was back then, and you cannot compare the rules of today with the rules of the past.
Yep.
And that's kind of true, but also evil is always evil. So I wrote my first book because I could not find a modern day book refusing or rebuting all these new modern day revisions. That's the only reason I wrote it, because I could not find anything modern addressing the accusations.
Wow. I like that you had the intelligence to go and the heart to investigate on your own. You went to the library, your local library, but these historians that have degrees in history, they're still putting out the wrong information. And I like that you went out and you refuted and debunked all the false media and the misinformation out there. That is awesome. Then you wrote a book about it. Who does that? Rafeal Ortiz does that. That's who does that. And is there any evidence whatsoever that he killed an Indian?
If you're talking about murder and genocide, the answer is no.
Yeah, he wasn't a murderer, right? He wasn't genocidal. No way.
That's not even possible for one man to do such a thing anyway. Before they had that idea about Indigenous Peoples Day. So I went to the meme and then I saw the sources. They mentioned Howard Zinn and they mentioned other people. Then I went back to those videos on YouTube that are still there, anti-Columbus videos, and they also using as a source. So I went and read his chapters on Christopher Columbus, and I read the other people. Oh, excuse me a minute.
Go right ahead. Help yourself.
And I read the other people, and so I start to, I start blogging about it, and then I wrote a book about it, debunking all that information.
So since you mentioned the book, do you have the book there in your hands or close by? Show me the book. There you go. It's called The Hero, Christopher Columbus. Look at that. It's a beautiful book. and I got the electronic version on my Kindle here. And how many chapters is that book?
I think it's 33, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see quick. Because the deal is that actually 34.
34. How many pages is that book?
It's like 200 and something. Let me see. 200.
Wow, 200 pages. This guy, Rafeal Ortiz, wrote a book. 200, at least 250, 40. What was that?
231.
Wow, 231 pages. You
I can tell you.
Yeah.
What happened was I wrote my first book. My idea was just to, okay, this is my 2 cents, and I keep going with my life. But I could not keep going with my life because I decided then to change and add, because the first edition of my book, I included my own personal email. So then I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go all for it. So I add my email, official Christopher Columbus. I started a website, officialchristophercolumbus.com.
Mm-hmm.
I started a page on Twitter. I have another one also on YouTube. And I went for it. And also through the years, I also wrote a second book, Columbus Day versus Indigenous Peoples Day. I wrote a third one too, Christopher Columbus and the Christian Church.
Wow.
But then in 2021, I decided, you know what, I'm going to make like revised versions of those 3 books, because the more I study Columbus, the more information you get. So what I did, this version of Christopher Columbus the Hero have new things, new chapters, two new chapters, and more information. That's why I was telling you about it, because it's not the same as the original version. I mean, it's the same information, but better, more information, new chapters, and the same with especially the last one too. And that's what I did for the 2021, the year 2021. Yes, the year 2020.
Terrific. And you got the source straight from Christopher Columbus's own journals, right?
Yes. You have and also you can find these sources. You can find it for free in many places, including Google Books, Project Gutenberg, I think is the other place. So yes, you have the journal. Then you have the letters, third and fourth voyage. There is also, and I have several versions of the journal. I have that in Spanish. I have it in English. I have different versions of it. Also the letters and the people who wrote about it during the second voyage, because we don't have much letters from his second voyage, but we have other people from that era. I read his son's biography. I read the sources, people who knew him. I read even his will, legal papers, letters that he wrote that have nothing to do with anything, just to see if I could find anything.
Yes, Christopher Columbus Day is coming up. And I know that I'm an Italian American or American Italian. You want to go either way, it doesn't matter. I support Christopher Columbus. Like you, growing up, there's always positive things about Christopher Columbus, always positive. And then comes along, somebody wants to jump into the ring and rain on our parade, basically, about Christopher Columbus. They tried to do that with Thomas Jefferson, because he owned a slave. But Thomas Jefferson wrote the Constitution, or the Declaration of Independence. Have you, getting back to the book, have you spoken to Carol Delaney, another great author?
Yes.
Or very good. Yeah, I got her book here, and I read part of it, and I like her stuff because she's an anthropologist. Mm-hmm. Do you have plans to go to Italy or Spain to look where Christopher Columbus lived?
I would like to at some point in my life.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Maybe we'll do a trip together. I'll meet you out there or something. So what did he do for the Indians that he met there? What good did he do for those people? This answer. I don't. So
Christopher Columbus, and maybe I should add this because people say, often they say that Columbus did not discover America because people were here. So they're saying Christopher Columbus discovered America.
Yeah.
And they assume they're trying to, that's more than they assumption, because that's what people think, that discover means that you find something and you're the very first person that you ever found it. But during the times of Christopher Columbus, the definition was not just the land, but also the people. So everybody knew that there were people there, or at least Columbus believed there were people there.
Yeah.
The people who were against Columbus, they say, you know what, you're crazy. There is no land over there. It's impossible to reach it. And even if you find that there is no people there, because it is too hot for people to live in those places. So Christopher Columbus discovered the land and discovered the people. You have to remember that he was trying to find a route for commerce, for commercial reasons, and also for religious reasons. He wanted to spread the gospel. So of course he knew people were there, and people is included in that definition. So Christopher Columbus discovered America, meaning the land and the people in it. So yes, one of the reasons Columbus wanted to reach the New World was to spread the gospel. So I'm here today, and the gospel is here. Actually, it is Christopher Columbus who brought the gospel to the New World. It wasn't the Pilgrims, it was Christopher Columbus. Then later the Pilgrims came to North America.
The Pilgrims, landed,
And Christopher Columbus believed, and I also believe that too, that he was chosen by God to bring the gospel. His name, Cristoforo, means the Christ bearer. And that's what also Carol Delaney talks about on her book, that the Bible says that the gospel will be spread, and then Jesus will come, and Columbus believed that that was part of his mission, to bring the gospel to a new world. And back then, even though it was new to them, they did not know that they were actually in a continent that the world did not know to exist. You know, I'm talking about the cosmographers of the time. They did not know that there was a land in between Asia and in between Africa. And so Columbus actually did brought the gospel. So that's one of the greatest things that he did, because I am indigenous and a Christian today because of that. So the first Christians, they were native, the Taínos.
Taínos.
Yes.
And that's your blood, right? That's your blood.
Yes. If you go to Puerto Rico, you're gonna see Taíno everywhere.
Wow.
Everywhere you go is Taíno this, Taíno that. That's what people, that's their greatest, how do you say, pride to discredit Columbus. They say, well, he never reached North America, which is funny because America includes North America, South America, Central America, and the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And Christopher Columbus discovered and reached maybe all the Caribbean, but also he reached Central America and South America before Amerigo Vespucci. You know, the land is named after Americo, but he reached it 1 year before him. And nobody said, well, you know, Americo never reached North America, which is true. He never reached North America. Well, anyway, but North America was reached because of Columbus, because while he was in Spain, he sent his brother Bartolome to England. So once everybody heard that he became successful in 1492, the king of England sent John Cabot. But you know, I don't know. They went, they explored, and then they came back. But the first person, one of the first person that started the settlements in North America was Juan Ponce de Leon, who was one of the men who was with Columbus during the second voyage. And he was also the first governor of Puerto Rico. He also discovered Florida. And he's the one who named it Florida because it was discovered during the Eastern season, which in Spanish is Florida, Pascua, Florida.
Oh, very good.
That's the connection. That's the connection between Puerto Rico and Florida.
Wow.
And Columbus.
So, and I appreciate this interview. This is an awesome interview. What are your top 3 issues to debunk the naysayers? because I believe those people are the flat earthers. You know what I mean? They think the earth is flat. Give me your top 3 summary of what we just said. Give me your top 3.
Top 3 about debunking their lies?
Yeah, is Christopher Columbus a bad guy? That's one of them, right? No.
Yes. And racism. I mean, how can you be a racist when you come in here to bring the gospel to people, you know?
Yes.
And also the Hispanic race, my race, became, as Columbus himself, uniting two different countries, 2 different people, the Spaniards with the natives. So really, racism.
Yeah.
And also Columbus was hated by the KKK. They hate Columbus Day. They wanted 1920s. They wanted to remove his statues because he was not a racist. But now they want to remove the statues because he was a racist. So that's another thing, how contradicting people are. They say one thing, but then they contradict each other. So the genocide. So I would say, the discovery thing, which I just explained.
Yeah.
The genocide is made up. What they mean by that is actually the sickness and diseases that later came and killed many natives in different places.
Yeah. That's not right.
But that's not genocide. I mean, right now we're in the pandemic, and then nobody's calling it genocide.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Very good point. And personally, I'm not a wealthy man yet, but I want to build more statues of Christopher Columbus. Would you do the same thing? Build more?
Yeah.
Protect the ones that are here, and then build more and build more Christianity-based arts and figures to support that.
I think that anyone who vandalized a statue should go to jail too.
Yeah,
and should be charged with hate crime.
Very good.
That's my opinion.
Very good. Rafeal, show us the book one more time, and then we'll end this interview. This is The Hero by Rafeal Ortiz, and he's revising the book. And you can find the book. Where can you find your book?
Amazon and Kindle.
And Kindle, very good. Amazon and Kindle.
And if you're looking to debunk all these allegations, this one is the best one. If you want to know about the other people in history, like what you say earlier, Jefferson and the Constitution and Washington, that's in this book, my second book.
Wow.
If you're a Christian and you care about Christianity, I wrote this 3rd book for believers. We tell you the story how Christopher Columbus brought Christianity here and what happened afterwards.
Terrific. Thank you, Rafeal. I'm going to end the recording right now. Great job. Hold on. I was going to stop the recording.